Hi everyone and welcome to our today's video. In this video, we are going to see practically on how we can use the distroless version of the Docker images and uh, how we can build the application on these distroless images. And lastly, we are going to check about the image size, and we are going to then compare the same application on the different versions. We are going to check this on the normal image of like a distribution, let's say CentOS 7, or then we are going to install it on the HashiCorp uh, image as well. Basically, and we are going to check the differences between them. We are going to install the same app on the different distribution of like the Alpine image as well, and then we are going to compare their sizes, and then we are also going to compare the vulnerabilities that they might be having, because the main advantage of the distroless is towards the reducing the vulnerabilities as discussed in our previous video. So if you have not watched that video, I will suggest you to go initially to that video, and then you can go through the practical. In that way, you will have more understanding about the distroless images and how and the advantages of using this distroless images. Finally, we are going to wrap this up, and we are also going to see that if the patch is not available, then what are the troubleshooting options that you have for such images, okay, and how you can overcome them. So that is the main agenda for this video. Now, for starting up this, we have basically the CentOS 7, which is running again on AWS Cloud. This is a smaller machine, but then it's a fresh installation which is not having anything. So everything that we are going to perform will be from the scratch itself. So the very first thing that we are going to do is we are going to install the Docker in this machine. So we are going to use the curl minus ls capital SL, and we are basically going to install it through the get.docker.com, which is a shell script, and you can directly execute this. This is going to automatically install the Docker on the machine. Now, so we are doing it from the scratch. So all the steps which are necessary to perform the installation of the distroless images from the very scratch, like in installation of the Docker as well, we will be covering this in this video. So it's installing the Docker right now. At this point, it is already figured out all the dependencies, and now it is installing the Docker on the machine. So it will take some time to install the Docker on this machine. All right, at this point, you will see that the Docker has been successfully installed. And now, once the Docker has been successfully installed, let's clear the screen. We can go ahead and start the Docker service. So I can say systemctl start Docker. This is going to take a while, and then start the Docker service. All right, so Docker service has been started now. Once the Docker has been started, we can go ahead and enable the Docker service. So I can say systemctl enable Docker. Okay, so I have enabled the Docker service. Now, once you have enabled the Docker service, you can go ahead and add the user. So it is not recommended to run the Docker from the root user because of the additional permissions that it gets. So we have a CentOS user because we are using the CentOS 7 right now, already built in. So we are going to add the CentOS user inside the Docker group so that we can run the Docker command from the CentOS user. So I will add the Docker group in the CentOS user in the secondary group. So if I say ID CentOS, you will see that CentOS is a part of the Docker group. And because of that, it will get a permission on the docker.sock. So if I switch my user to CentOS now, and for the verification purpose, I can go ahead and run docker run hello-world. So this is going to download the hello world image and run and show me if everything has been installed correctly and the Docker is working fine. So once we verify that the Docker has been installed correctly, then we can go ahead and install the cosign. Now, what is cosign? Cosign is basically used for signing the Docker images. Okay. So at this point, I have seen that Docker has been successfully installed on our VM. So I can clear this up. Now, what we are going to do is we are going to download and install a cosign image. Cosign. Basically, this cosign is a way that which allows you to encrypt, like it's a security feature which basically allows you to verify the image using the key. So you can use the private key or a public key combination which will allow you to validate that the image has not been tampered with. So we are going to download the latest version. Now the cosign is available in like all the distributions. So we are going to directly install using the RPM for the cosign. And one important thing to be noted here is that it requires you to have the root permissions. Otherwise, you won't be able to modify the RPM database. So make sure that you use sudo before installing the cosign RPM. Okay, so it's going to install the cosign on our distribution. Now, once you have installed the cosign, okay, you can go ahead and download the distroless. Now the image that we are downloading, it's from the official Google Container Registry, so it's verified. So you can directly say docker pull, and you can at this time say gcr.io/distroless/node.js. So why I'm downloading, you can download the distroless as a well standalone distroless, which is based on the Ubuntu 11. You can download that, or uh, you can download the other versions of the distroless, but I'm downloading the Node.js because I'm going to use a basic Node.js application to show you how we can use the multi-stage build along with the distroless image. So we are going to use this Node.js base image for that purpose. Okay, so let's go ahead and pull this image. So it's downloading right now. At this point, the image has been downloaded. So you can go ahead and check out the size of this image. So you can say Docker images. It will show you the size of the Docker image. So if you check out, the size of the distroless Node.js image is just 117 MB. Okay, so it's already very small. Okay, uh, now you might be thinking that it's still 117 MB in size, but then you have to consider the aspect that the Node.js has been installed on it. If you are downloading something like HashiCorp Alpine image, it will be 5 MB in size, but then Node.js is not installed. So you will have to actually build and install the Node.js on that. If you install the Node.js package on that, which will be running the Node.js, then you will find that the size of it is going to increase. This is something which we are planning to do as well, but we are going to do it in a while. So at this point, we have downloaded the distroless image, and now we are going to use this distroless along with the uh, multi-stage build in order to install this. Okay, so now we are at this point. I'm going to end this video. This is the first part of our video in which we have shown how to download the distroless image and verified the size. In the second part, we are going to use this, and we are going to create a multi-stage build, and then we are going to do the same process for the Alpine and the Node.js standalone. Okay, so that way we are going to combine all the three. We are going to see what are the advantages about the image size, as well as we are also going to analyze from the security aspect. Okay, all right, so thank you everyone for watching this video. If you have not subscribed to our channel, please do subscribe.